every being is integrated. But what is the software that operates?
The mind.
The mind. So if you purify your mind, what will happen? The divinity will automatically, you can see.
It's a new day, it's a new episode, and we are excited to welcome you back to our show, Game of Life, where we're focused on enriching your life. My name is Rosemary Willie. I have Devang Shukla as usual. This is part B of philosophy. Now, I think we had an interesting, engaging conversation about philosophy where we explored life in general, what governs life, and then we went onto the text, of
The positive and negative aspects of life.
The positive and the negative aspects of life, finding the balance. So I am particularly excited to see what we are going to talk about in part B. So let's hear what the author says. He says diversity is fact. It's factual to be diverse. Unity in diversity is true. Unity is the original, that is eternity. Duality is creative. Diversity is productive.
I think this is about, you can understand it as life in existence. So whether you take universe, there is diversity. Then there is unity in diversity. Like you have many planets, but there is a center point as sun, and all the planets are rotating around the sun. There is diversity, but there is order. It's not randomly made as universe. There is diversity in plants. When the leaves drop off the plant, it works as manure, it works as food for insects. So there is a cycle and there is a structure around it. So there is diversity, but there is unity in diversity also. Each is feeding itself and growing and prospering. Each has a cycle of life and death. Somebody's death becomes a life for someone.
Do you believe that, and since we're talking about philosophy, right? Do you believe that creation is alive? I mean, nature. I mean, the earth. I mean, the plants. I mean, do you believe they are alive? Not live like breath, but...
Okay, let me explain and then you tell me whether I have understood properly. Because one of the scientists, Dr. Bose, got a Nobel Prize that plants have emotions. So what happens when you are walking on the road and you are in a very happy mood plucking some leaves or breaking a branch? The plant experiences fear. So he has done empirical experiments. We were talking of many experiments, and he documented and showed that, see, when I put this, the plant reacts. Now we have more advanced technologies like Kirlian microscopes where you can see aura of plants also. So you can see its aura is changing into red because of fear. It's becoming more happy in yellow or more engaging in blue. So there are ways to find out. That is one part. Another part is the Jad Tattva. Jad Tattva means the things which we consider as dead, like the tiles here. We think they are dead, or the fridge or the cameras. But they also have consciousness. So Dr. Bose has got an award of Nobel Prize in this also. He showed that how he puts a poison to one of the cans of metal and they react. Where is the change expected is in our consciousness. Every substance and living thing interacts with you.
So we need to see life in a new way and engage.
Yes.
Amazing. Okay. The mind speaks to the human the heart seeks for the divinity,
Mm-hmm.
the soul follows the salvation, but who is the subject that operates?
So now we were talking of unity in diversity. You have diversified things like mind. What is mind? Mind is nothing but a thought. If you have no thought,
Is the faculty that understands and makes
Yes.
decisions.
decisions, but decision is a thought.
Yeah.
Understanding is, so it operates in a, the raw material is thought, the output is thought. So if you remove the thought, mind is not there. So mind speaks to the human. How does it speaks to human? Through language, but it is thoughts also. The heart seeks for the divinity. So even if you are engaging in intellectual activities, what does the heart seek? So the heart seeks for divinity. So basically it's the humanity and love. Love in its deepest form is divinity. The soul follows the salvation. So if you are in Indian philosophy, they say you are a soul, or some of them equivalent, you may say spirit, and all those words, different words are used. Self is also used in some. So the soul seeks for salvation means it feels that it is bound by many things. It is bound by, let's say, habits. It is bound by weaknesses.
The soul?
Yes, it is bound by, let's say, I am habituated to a particular taste. That taste is coming to my mind. I am habituated to a particular sofa. This chair, if you give me, I am uncomfortable. So what is this? This is slavery to the objects of nature. So what it seeks salvation, means freedom. Its real form, its pure form, when it achieves, that is salvation. But who is the subject matter that operates? Who is operating? Is it soul operating? Is it mind operating? Is it heart operating? Is what he is asking.
So what is the answer?
So the answer is mind. And mind has consciousness. And that consciousness elevates itself into many levels.
So mind is different from soul.
So this we are dividing to understand the concept. Imagine this is my hand. Now, when you hit, what I am saying, you are hitting me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But why I am not saying, why are you hitting my hand?
I don't get that.
So I divide myself into hands, feet,
Yes.
but that division has no meaning because finally everything is integrated, right or no?
Yes.
If you hit my hand or if you hit my shoulder, you are hitting me at the end.
Yes.
I will not say you are hitting this.
Yeah.
Because we are integrated piece. In the same way, every being is integrated. But what is the software that operates?
The mind.
The mind. So if you purify your mind, what will happen? The divinity will automatically, you can see.
Okay.
Like you can say an example of a mirror. If you see your face in the mirror, you can't see clearly if it has dust. If you cleanse the mind, what happens? The picture is clear. And what is that picture? That picture is the soul or the God that we are talking. So purification of mind means going towards the divinity.
Well, it does say in the Bible that, you're transformed by the renewal of your mind. Continuous renewal of your mind.
Correct. And what does continuous renewal of mind mean? It means first you are assessing where you are. What are your plus, what are your minus? Secondly, you are living as per your conscience. Conscience is the heart. Are you living as per conscience? Like imagine if I am saying some lie to you. Am I comfortable in saying? So some chemical reaction starts. So that pollutes the mind. So mind is the software which is operating to achieve success in material life. And mind is the software which is operating to achieve success in spiritual life. So mind is a common software which is working on both the things.
I agree with that. Ignorance has its original. Cognition is its productive.
So when we start with anything, we don't know things. We don't know. So because we don't know, we ignore.
Yeah.
But what is cognition? Cognition is an ability or a mental process of acquiring knowledge and understanding. So we recognize, okay, I don't know, but what I can do about it? How I can know? That cognition will allow you to learn things.
Is it possible of having the absolute? No. It is merely partial known.
So this is what he is saying is absolute. What do you mean by absolute is you have a full understanding of the universe and its principles. Even now scientists are still working and challenging each other in theories. How universe was formed, how time was formed, can you bend time or not?
Yeah.
How the atomic structure works. So what he is saying is it possible? The earth is equal to a grain of sand or even less than that when we compare universe. The measurement of kilometers is like a very small measurement when it comes to universe. In universe we calculate distance by light years. So light, how much it travels? Some 100,000 kilometers per second. That distance is used as a measurement to universe, and that measurement is also not enough. So like Jupiter is 1,000 times bigger than Earth. Even in our solar system, Sun is far bigger. So in that we are just a dust. In that dust we say Earth is very big. How big our size is as a human in Earth? So you are like I can't calculate how small we are. And what is the development of understanding that we are looking at, that we know the universe? So that he is saying is it is merely partial known.
Wow. What is an absolute? Simply, it is the zero of matter. Where is it? It is there itself at the centroid of the universe.
So what he is trying to say is, what is that absolute? Absolute means the knowledge of which, after which you don't need to know anything, you know everything. You know how the ants are working, you know how flies are working, you know how birds are working, every working, how clouds form, which clouds form which way, how earthquakes, everything you know. So he says, what is it? So he says, simply it is the zero of matter. What does it mean? You have to go beyond yourself and go beyond the plane of material world. You know, I will believe you only when I can see. I will believe you only when I can hear and assess the facts. And the senses have limitations. Where is God? Where is divinity? Is it in the universe? Well, it is in the universe, but before the universe, it is within you. It is the closest to you. It is closest to any of your family members. You are the closest to your divinity. But are we able to get it? No. Because we are looking outside in the material plane. Material plane means relationships, objects, gains, profit and loss. But when you go towards the absolute zero,
Wow.
suddenly you will see that you know everything.
Is that possible?
It's possible.
To know everything?
Yes, it's possible. So what it says, there is a Sanskrit word, yatha pinde tatha brahmande. Means, if there is universe, it is within me. And know yourself, know the universe. It doesn't mean you will know all the complications. Which means, let's imagine there is a rotary engine in a missile and you know that instantly. No, I am not talking of that kind of knowledge.
Yeah.
But I am saying the forces of nature you will know. The metal, like imagine I bring a glass of water and that glass is made of glass. That glass will talk to you. If I bring a metal, it will talk to you. So you are able to interact with the universe. That state you will achieve.
Wow.
And what is the other thing you will achieve? The other thing you will achieve is you will not be a slave of your senses.
Yeah.
Seeing something beautiful,
Doesn't change.
tasting, hearing. Somebody says very flowery words and somebody says abusive language. You will be at stable state. You are not looking for a particular touch. You are beyond the sense of touch. So that is the stage he is talking.
The creation is infinite and the earth is an finite. For as much the human can get neither the ne plus viteur, perfection, nor the Pansophy?
So what he's saying is the creation is infinite. We have talked about universe, size and
Several
everything.
times, yeah.
And the earth is finite. Earth is okay, you can rotate around the earth. And let me tell you, human knowledge about earth also is finite. We know much about the moon, but we don't know the inner depths of the sea.
Wow.
We couldn't explore because of the pressure. There is a particular amount of depth and pressure you can go in a sea. Below it we have not gone, where sunlight is not there. So still humans are learning about the earth, which is saying as finite. For as much the human can neither be neplu vitre, which means perfection, nor the pensophy, means neither you can be absolute perfect, nor you will have a universal wisdom.
Since we're talking about philosophy and we're just talking about life in general, and I'm hearing all of this, would it be strange if you just want to be a human being in this world, just living without all of these truths and just whatever comes, I take it and I just live my life? Would that be strange?
It will not be strange. You are talking of a period which is limited in scope. Because what happens in the game of life is when you imagine you are hungry. So I have offered you food. You ate. Next day again I offered. You say, give me something new. So what happens in case of human is they are innovative and exploratory. And there is a limitation. Imagine your salary goes from 1 million to 1 billion. Are you going to eat gold? That's the point. So the food has a limitation. After that, what is the pleasure you would seek for? Expensive pleasure. After expensive pleasure, what will happen? Limitation. Then where you will go? Self-exploration. Then you will say, okay, I went for these, I suffered. Let me not suffer.
So people say that there is, whether you have money, you don't have money, okay, let's say you've got the money or you've got all of the material things in this world. People say that there is a deep hunger that we all carry.
Yes. And who will realize the hunger?
I think that you find that hunger in God.
There are two types of people, or let's say two type of patients. One patient is saying, I am hungry. When I check his stomach, he has nothing in the stomach for 1 day. So I know he is very, very hungry. Whatever I give him, he will be happy. Whether I give him raw or I give him cooked. There is second patient, he says, I am very hungry. Same thing like the other one. But when I check his stomach is full. And there is a digestive issue because of which he is full, but he is feeling he is hungry. It's a very bad kind of stomach upset. Who will feel the hunger is who has lived his life fully. The inner hunger only those will feel who have lived fully or who have a peaceful mind. So who have lived fully, like imagine he studied at the right age. He got a job at the right age. He married right age. He has kids at the right age. In old age, he will be beyond all these pleasures. Why? He has seen everything. There is an age for everything. Like you have for trees, there is fruition at every stage. So because he has seen and satisfied, he will finally go to the divine. And
is that what it means to have a full life?
Yes, because full life means you have availed your wishes and those wishes have dropped off. Like a fruit is ripe and then it drops off. I wanted a car in my life and it dropped off.
Okay, so you mean having those desires, but not just having the desire, being among the few who gets whatever they desire.
See, okay, let me explain to you. There are two people I have seen, and it's a real example. I'm not quoting the names. But what I have seen is, they both were from a very poor background.
Humble background.
Now what happened? Both of them did very good in their life. Earned money, everything. But at the end of the old age, one guy said, I have not earned enough. While he earned more than the other guy. And he says, I have to still work at 75. Because I can earn even more. The second guy says, God, whatever he gave me, he also did well in his life, by the way. But he said, whatever I have got, I have fulfilled. Now I want to see that my kids do something good in their life. I have seen. Not that you will show me and give. Which state we want to go? In an ever hungry stage or in a satisfied stage? So when you go in a satisfied stage, you innovate and improve on the next level. There is next level of happiness waiting for you. But you have not completed the game fully of one stage.
So there are different levels of happiness in there.
Happiness. And what happens? The second category, there is second category of this, which is like a saint. He left the world and he got the happiness. That is also another way of getting happiness. It's a shortcut in a way. How? He left at the age of 18. Now no pleasures, nothing he cannot be a slave. So what happens? He gets the internal divinity and happiness at that stage. So he's a rich guy. He's the king of kings at the age of 18. But the other guy got the same happiness after availing all his wishes.
If he, Braham, is the reality or truth, whence does come the illusion into the pluralistic world?
So what he says is, pluralistic world, we think that there is God and there is something as demon, the opposite of it. Or we think as Brahma and Maya, means the reality which is the God, and remaining is non-reality or virtuality. It doesn't have any real thing. So he says, how will God create a thing which is not real? He says, why will God create a thing which is bad or demon? How can demon be created without God? He's saying. Everything was created by God only. Are you getting? So what he says is, keep a realistic and scientific view about what the Pansophy or philosophy is teaching you. Not everything is implementable as it is. Use your mind, use the relevance in life, and then implement it.
Okay. So we've discussed philosophy and it's a lot. For you to really get into it, to understand, advice that you go back and play and watch part A, it goes smoothly into part B. So we're going to take one of the P's, which is poverty, because I think it just goes in line. So material poverty may be minimized, but mental poverty prevents prosperous progress. So this is so far. I feel like this is enlightening, right? Material poverty may be minimized, but mental poverty prevents prosperous progress soever.
So what does it mean?
Because we spoke about mindset earlier on when we're talking about money, and I feel like this is the perfect example. Once you're poor in your mind, that's the end.
Imagine a situation. A person's father has a big oil well, lot of money, but that guy is sleeping on a golden bed all the time, and he has a problem. He has a very big back pain because of oversleeping. There is a guy with reasonable money, but all the time he's standing and painting the beautiful colors of life. He wants to travel and see nature also, and he wants to engage, and he's sweating. He doesn't have AC and fan also. What he says is, who is really having a poverty?
The person sleeping on the go.
So what he says is, mental poverty is the real poverty.
Yeah.
Which
I
means
agree.
lack of vision, hope, creativity, self-worth.
I really think that wealth is different from money. Right?
Which is a finance. You have gone into the space of finance.
Because what you just explained now, somebody has money, but in my opinion, that doesn't mean he's wealthy. I feel the other guy who got up expert, that is who is wealthy.
You may find circumstances like models in a cover page of a Fortune 500 magazine, but next day they have died. Suicide. Why?
What happened?
Mental poverty.
Yeah.
This is very important. And if you go to the scriptures, it says, rich person is who has contributed, not who has. So imagine there is a poor person, he got a loaf of bread, somebody asked and he gave half of that bread. So he gave 50%. And imagine there is a rich guy, like a person earning $10 billion, and he gave in charity 1 million. Who is rich as per scripture? The guy who got one loaf of bread. So this is very important. Why? Because we have to enrich our life. Because you have to explore the life and all dimensions. The guy which I gave you an example was sleeping on the golden bed. How will he introduce himself? I am son of this king. I am son of this rich man. What about
Who
you?
are you? Yeah.
But the guy who was doing the painting and sweating, what he will say?
That guy has ownership.
This painting will give my introduction to you.
Yeah.
What I do.
Yeah. Poverty and liberty both are there. Get what you want.
So ultimately you have to explore the freedom, the limits of human dimensions, how you can explore. Instead of comparing with each other, going in egocentric way.
Yeah.
Oh, he has this shoe, he has that shoe. No. See what you have and explore fully.
Yes.
This is the game of life.
Having been with the self-respect, the self-reliance, and self-sufficiency you just talked about, is to be called the intrinsic and the pristine prestige. I love this. It speaks for itself.
So pristine prestige means pure, unspoiled, that kind of beauty. Imagine you have looked into the eye of that guy who was sleeping, and you looked at the eye of the painter. What would you see? More energy,
Yeah.
more creativity, more realistic touch you will see, and you would like to talk to that person.
Yes.
So that is where he is saying that self-sufficiency is very important, self-respect,
Yes.
self-reliance. These three factors.
Very important.
Yes.
So prevention is better than cure. That's a popular.
Yeah.
It is something we say.
Million times.
Prevention is better than cure. So, since this is something we say, it is something we've all heard. Why is it that most people don't practice it? Prevention is better than cure.
That is awareness.
So most people lack awareness.
Lack awareness. See, imagine I am very thrilled to drive at 120.
Oh, by the way, we have a topic on awareness. So I advise you go back, explore that, then come back and just go ahead.
I am not ready to learn how speedily to drive unless I meet with an accident. So 120 is thrilling, 140 is thrilling, then I understand, okay, 80 is thrilling, 60 is thrilling. So that is very important. Once you lose your level of awareness, you do mistakes and accidents occur. So prevention is better, but I can tell you, a wise man will always try to prevent from the accident. He will
Do all the right things.
all the right
Sure.
things that the vegetable does not burn. He put the flame in the right format. He is maintaining his awareness. But if he is not aware, he's lost in the music, he's lost somewhere, then
Anything happens. The
That's the
house
point.
can burn down. Okay, so it says that it is a proverb, but pretension is more bitter than that of the harm.
So this is the contrast to he is saying to the general proverb, prevention is better. He is saying contrastingly, pretension, displaying false qualities,
Wow.
is more bitter than of the harm. So what he is saying is, you are trying to say what you are not. Has it happened with you?
Which
I have seen so many times.
Which is
I can give you at least two examples I'll give you. One professional, one spiritual. Professionally, we got a chartered accountant teacher. He was teaching us financial management. And when I asked a question, he gave me a wrong answer.
Did you know that?
And all the class fellows also took that wrong technique of calculation. I don't know of others. But similar question when it appeared in my exam, I cracked using his.
The wrong answer. Oh wow.
And I failed.
Oh wow.
So I lost 3 months of my hard preparation of 16 hours. I know the hard way how pretension is bitter. I don't know about other people. Now we come to next of spiritual circle. I saw one saint, he said he's an expert in this scripture. It's a high chair, we respect, we think that he's divine, he has connection. But I also read the scripture well. But what he said about the scripture is not written, is missing. Second, what he said is wrong also. Now, this wrong knowledge you have given to 800 people. For me, I have not seen hell because I have not died. Neither I have seen heaven. But I have seen hell in those 2.5 hours. It was like somebody has put me in a burning fire and made to hear like you are melting something and putting in my ears.
I think what comes to mind for me is when you go into pretense, the danger becomes more than you. It could harm someone else.
Yes. And when it harms someone else, what will happen? Ultimately, it will harm you.
Yeah.
Why we should do good to others? Because good happens with us.
Yeah.
So when you give wrong direction, imagine I am asking you how to go to Ikeja and you gave me let's say you gave me a way to Banana Island, or you gave me to Kano highway, how to catch it. So that is very bitter. Because the person who spends his fuel, who spends his hours imagining you know the way, you are a local person.
Yeah.
What he can do about you? He can do nothing because you have met on the street. You don't know, he don't know. If you ask him, he'll say, why did you rely on me? But the responsibility that you took of showing the direction, it has a far bitter impact. And financially that person has suffered by fuel, time, he has killed everything.
You could have just said you don't know.
You don't know. So he has suffered. But indirectly you will also get his suffering because you showed the wrong way. I have also seen people in high chair. Very few. I have not seen many. If you ask them a question, they don't know.
But they pretend they know.
No, they will say, I don't know.
Oh, that's good.
That kind of courage, sitting in high chair, I have seen it is rare. My calculation says it will be 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 2. Means 1 to 2 in a range of 10 people or 100 people. It requires courage to say that I don't know.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, you tend to, so that person would learn more. That person will have an opportunity to learn. Because like when you say I do not know, there might just be somebody somewhere that may know, or it gives you the privilege to go back and learn.
That is one part.
Knowledge.
But I'll explain to you, the same another teacher was there. That teacher who gave me a wrong thing had 30 students. And there was one teacher who was having a big, and he was having 400 students. There was no space to spit. And I used to sit in the front. I asked him a question one time. He did not answer. He said, you wait. And he taught the whole class. After the class is over, he said, okay, can you come and meet me? I met him. He said, see, your question, I don't have answer. He said, but you can read these 2 books in my library and you can find the answer.
Wow.
I don't know whether he really found the answer or not. But for me, him telling with the truth that I don't know helps me to explore the way in reality. So this is very, very important. And this is where, all philosophy comes into practicality. Bible says, Quran says we should say the truth. You don't apply. And what happens? It becomes your karma. It becomes your knots in the mind. Does not allow your mind to purify and find divinity. Say the truth if it is there. No, I don't know, but I can find it if you want. Or I can tell you the right person. Or I can tell you the book. Very courageous. Especially in spirituality. They will give you most of the time wrong answer. Why? If I give you wrong answer, you have not seen God anyway.
Are you going to?
Where you will go?
Yeah.
Are you getting? In financial management, I can still catch you by talking to a professional person.
Yes. But when you say spiritual, so who are you? What's the benchmark? Who are you going to ask?
So this master word of pretension, and I did not realize the value of this, but now the whole incidents come, is a huge value.
Yeah.
Is more bitter than harm.
Yes. Okay, let's take the last P for today, which is pride. Just talking about it is so heavy. Pride. If the pride rides the person, the journey on the tortuous way of wish will be finished either in the turning bush or the valley of death. Ooh, sorry.
So I think this is very important, that if the pride rides, the journey is tortuous. So because you have pride, you will have wishes, and those wish will either take you to the thorny bush or the valley of death. What does it mean? You have seen examples like, he was once a big star, now he is no more. But he says, I have to go in business class. Your pride will finish you.
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot.
Many times.
A whole lot.
Yeah.
Where
I will wear branded only.
It is very important that you just see life differently. The fact that you have the privilege to take first class should not put you in a, how will I put it? You should not feel strange if one day you find yourself in economy. It's still one plane at the end of the day.
Or imagine you went to a store to buy something and that store is bad because the AC is not working.
So are you going to go hungry? Okay, so and I think that pride, poverty has a way.
Correct.
There's a mix.
Because poverty is poverty of the mind.
Yes.
It is not the pocket.
Yeah. The poverty and the serfdom are reserved for the poor. The property, power, and prosperity are deserved for the rich. Should I go on?
Yes, yes.
Is there no hope of departure to the party? When would the commonality have their freedom and liberty?
So what he's talking of the game of life where there are huge inequalities. Somebody is too rich that he throws away the food, and somebody is so poor that he counts every grain. Wow. That is what he's saying. There is a structural inequality, and that is because of not adhering to common principles of growth. Not that you can't be rich, you can be rich, but along with you many people can also go. But you try to exploit some and take off all the money in your pocket. I can give you examples. Like one person did a big fraud of $3 billion, and 70,000 people in that bank became homeless.
Oh, wow.
So you are so greedy that you could eat the food of 70,000 people.
Wow. Okay.
And I can bet neither him nor his 7th generation can finish that food. So why did you do that?
Greed makes people do the worst things.
Unnatural,
in my opinion.
So that's the unnatural.
Okay, I think that these topics are interesting. They are aligned properly. So I would advise that you really take your time. Do not rush. Go through philosophy, through poverty, prestige, pretension, pride, and there will be practical things that you can use in your daily life. Right?
Yes.
So this has been fantastic. Please join us next week. We'll be talking about progress, property, reform, religion. It's been fantastic. Do not forget to like, to share, to comment, to what else? Subscribe. Thank you.